Hi everybody, Ali Akbarian, your resident road safety expert, back again with mobility engineering for another Q&A. We love those questions, keep them coming in, and as we always say with my trusty subscribe flag down there, hit that subscribe button, or up there, hit the subscribe button that's down there, and help us get to that 10,000 subscriber mark. All right, let's get on to today's video. So a couple of little introductions on the video before we get into it. We have a Sunrise Medical Quickie wheelchair donated to us for a tripod wheelchair conversion, and to demonstrate the reasons, or I guess a visual demonstration of the question. So the question basically has come along, and it's from an occupational therapist, and it says, look, I'm prescribing someone for transport, and we're having a bit of difficulty, I guess, trying to find the right sort of back supports and head supports and so on. Do I really have to prescribe, the question is, do we have to have head supports when we are transporting the child, when we are transporting within the wheelchair, not a child, transporting adult or child within a wheelchair. So I'm transporting within a wheelchair in the back of a vehicle like this. Does this wheelchair have to have a proper backrest and headrest, or restraint is what we call it in the industry? The long and short of it is yes, you do. Basically, you have to have a backrest, you have to have a headrest, you have to have it all. That has to be crash tested and approved for the purpose of transport. So we have an example of one like this, which is the Quickie product. This is a crash tested product with a back and head restraint, and it's a transit chair. That is basically what you need to be transiting in a vehicle. I have a little semi-rant I want to make here, and I guess a little bit of a call to action, and just a bit of a, like, I guess, what's going on out there. As why are people asking this question? Because to me, because this comes up a lot within our industry, and it's along the lines of, oh, I've heard that because this person is disabled, they don't have to have the full amount of safety. We don't need to have a headrest for them. We don't need to have a backrest for them. First of all, that is actually incorrect. This is a human being that is transporting in a vehicle, just like every other human being that's transporting in that vehicle. So they have to get the same level of safety, the same level of protection that every other human being is afforded in the vehicle. This is not a philosophical thing. This is just straight out laws and regulations. So it's very strange to me that someone is thinking, okay, because that person is disabled, that means they have less laws for them. That's not the case. That's never been the case. There is a potential of where there could have been a bit of confusion, and within our industry, you are allowed to get exemptions from laws and requirements if you put forward a very strong medical case for your exemption. So because within our industry there is more medical cases, then you would have more exemptions. So maybe you might think because someone was issued an exemption for not having a backrest or not having a headrest, then that's okay. But it's not okay at all. Everybody in the vehicle, every human being within the vehicle is supposed to be protected in the exact same manner. It doesn't matter if they're sitting on a wheelchair or not. So if you're on a wheelchair, you have to have a full proper seatbelt, just like everybody else. You have to have a full proper backrest, just like everybody else. A full proper headrest, just like everybody else. You're a human being that's traveling in the vehicle, just like everybody else. Just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean you get less safety afforded to you. You have the exact same rules applicable to you as a human being within this vehicle. So the confusion may be because exemptions are more likely in this area, and if you need a medical exemption, you've got to go through that whole process of medical exemptions, and we've got videos on them as well, to not have the headrest, but you must always have that headrest. Now, one thing I will do is I'm going to cut this video and we're going to go and show you a headrest that you can fit to the vehicle, because in addition to the point that I just made before, there is always an option to provide a head and back support as well. So if in your case with your client, you couldn't prescribe a chair that has a crash tested back and wheelchair, there is another product that you need to prescribe instead of that. And this is very important, and we're going to cut and we're going to go to another vehicle to show you that product. Okay, so we're back for the second cut of the video. It's a little bit of a different environment, very small, cramped space in the back of our Volkswagen Transporter demonstrator van. But we are here for good reason, because we have a product which is a backrest, a certified backrest for wheelchairs and headrests for wheelchairs that are in transport that basically don't have that certified one. So I've got one here that I will just quickly show you. I just shove to the side of the video frame so you can see. We'll just bring it around. Again, this is just a rough showing you how it would set up. But as you see here, if I set this wheelchair, this is a non-crash tested wheelchair, by the way, with no back and no headrest, as you can see. So in this case, I am provided with the full safety of a headrest and the backrest, and basically I don't have to, and I have the wheelchair that is prescribed to my needs as well, and I'm still provided the exact same level of safety, and we have also a full over-the-shoulder seatbelt scenario as well, right? So it doesn't matter where you're set up, you still need to have all of those protections. If they're not built into the wheelchair, that's absolutely fine. You just have to install that product. But not having that protection is, in my opinion, absolutely absurd. And so that thought process of, oh, well, they're disabled, they're in a wheelchair, they don't have to have the same level of protection. That needs to not be part of the thought process. It needs to be, okay, how do I get them the same level of protection if we can't get it with this? Because there is always a product out there that can help, or something can be manufactured that can help. Okay, so thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. Hit that subscribe button down there, and yeah, see you next time.